Vinegar. That's it. That's what 500,000 Roman soldiers drank every single day instead of water. Sour, harsh, burning vinegar mixed with a splash of water. And here's the part nobody tells you. While their enemies were dropping dead from disease, parasites, and infected water, Roman soldiers stayed alive, stayed strong, and kept marching for 500 years straight. One simple drink, 2 ingredients, and it built the largest empire the world had ever seen. This is the story of posca, the drink that didn't just hydrate Rome's army, it kept them breathing when nothing else could. Let's go back to around 200 BC. Rome is at war constantly, with Carthage, with Greece, with Gaul, with anyone who refuses to bow. Roman legions are marching across deserts, swamps, mountains, and forests, and every general faces the same impossible problem: water. Clean water. Because in the ancient world, water was a killer. More soldiers died from drinking dirty water than from enemy swords. Lakes carried parasites, rivers carried bacteria, wells carried diseases. A single sip of bad water could wipe out an entire camp in days. Dysentery, cholera, typhoid. These weren't rare, they were normal, and they killed armies faster than any battle ever could. So Roman commanders asked themselves a brutal question. How do you keep 500,000 men hydrated when every water source on Earth could be poisoned, infected, or contaminated? You can't boil water for an entire army every day. You can't carry barrels of fresh water across deserts. You can't drink from random rivers without dying. So they did something genius. They didn't try to clean the water, they changed it. They made it acidic. They took cheap, sour wine that had gone bad, the kind of wine nobody wanted to drink, wine that had turned into vinegar. They mixed it with water. Sometimes they added a few herbs like coriander, fennel, or mint. And just like that, posca was born, the 2-ingredient drink that would feed Rome's army for the next 5 centuries. Now you might be thinking, vinegar and water? That sounds disgusting. And yes, it kind of was. Roman soldiers themselves complained about it. They called it the poor man's drink, the slave's drink, because in Roman society, only the rich drank pure wine. Everyone else, especially the army, drank posca. But here's the genius part. The vinegar in posca was acidic, and acid kills bacteria. So when soldiers mixed it with dirty river water, swamp water, or even questionable well water, the acidity neutralized most of the harmful microbes. The water became safe, or at least safe enough. While other armies died from a single bad drink, Romans drank from the same swamps and walked away healthy. But the magic of posca didn't stop there. The vinegar contained acetic acid, and acetic acid does something incredible to the human body. It helps regulate blood sugar, it boosts energy absorption, it reduces fatigue, it even kills certain stomach parasites. So a Roman soldier wasn't just hydrating, he was getting an ancient version of an electrolyte drink. Modern scientists have actually studied posca, and the results are stunning. The drink is almost identical to modern sports drinks like Gatorade in terms of how it affects the body. 2,000 years before science, the Romans had already figured out the formula. And here's where the story gets even crazier. Posca didn't just keep soldiers alive, it changed how Rome fought wars. Because of this drink, Roman legions could march into places no other army could survive. Egypt's deserts, Britain's freezing forests, Germany's swamps, Mesopotamia's dry plains. While enemy armies dropped from heat stroke and diseases, Romans drank posca and kept moving. The drink gave them a weapon their enemies didn't have: endurance. They could march 25 miles a day, fight a battle, build a fortified camp at night, and do it all again the next morning, all powered by sour wine and water. Even the Roman emperors knew how important posca was. Emperor Hadrian, one of the greatest soldier emperors in history, was famous for drinking posca with his troops. Not wine, not pure water, posca. He wanted his soldiers to know he ate what they ate, drank what they drank, and suffered what they suffered. And Roman generals like Julius Caesar, Trajan, and Marcus Aurelius made sure every single legion always had enough posca to last for months. Some military supply lists discovered by archaeologists actually mention posca by name, listed alongside grain, salt, and weapons. It wasn't optional, it was essential. Now here's something almost nobody talks about. Posca had another use that completely changed warfare: wound treatment. When a soldier got cut in battle, what do you think the Romans cleaned the wound with? Not water, not herbs, posca. The vinegar in the drink killed bacteria and prevented infection. So the same drink that quenched a soldier's thirst could also save his life on the battlefield. Roman field doctors carried bottles of posca specifically for cleaning wounds. And when you compare Roman survival rates after battle to those of their enemies, the difference is shocking. Romans survived, their enemies died. All because of a sour drink everyone laughed at. And here's a fact most people don't know. Posca actually appears in one of the most famous moments in human history, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. The Bible mentions a Roman soldier offering Jesus a sour drink on a sponge while he was on the cross. Many historians believe that drink was posca. The soldier wasn't mocking him. He was offering him the same drink Roman soldiers carried every single day: the cheap, sour, life-giving posca. But here's what truly blows the mind. Posca wasn't just a drink, it was an entire culture inside the Roman army. Soldiers used it to celebrate, to mourn, to toast their fallen brothers, to welcome new recruits, to swear oaths. New soldiers were sometimes initiated by drinking a cup of posca with their commander. It was a symbol of belonging, a symbol of brotherhood. If you drank posca with the legion, you were one of them. You ate their food, you bled their blood, you shared their fate. And the Romans knew the drink was so powerful that they built supply chains across the empire just for it. Vinegar factories were set up in every major Roman province. Massive jars called amphorae were filled with posca and shipped to every fort, every legion, every outpost. Some shipwrecks discovered in the Mediterranean Sea still contain unopened posca jars from 1,800 years ago. Imagine that, a drink so important that Roman ships sank carrying it across the sea. And like every great Roman invention, posca survived long after the empire fell. Byzantine soldiers drank it for another 1,000 years. Medieval European armies copied the recipe. Even sailors during the Age of Exploration drank a version of posca on long sea voyages, because it didn't spoil like fresh water did. The drink that kept Rome alive ended up keeping half the world alive too. Today, posca is making a strange comeback. Modern athletes, especially endurance runners and military trainers, are starting to drink versions of vinegar water mixes for the exact same reasons the Romans did: hydration, stamina, bacteria resistance. 2,000 years later, science is finally catching up to what a Roman soldier already knew while marching across a frozen mountain in 100 AD. So the next time you think Rome conquered the world with iron, swords, and discipline, remember this: the real weapon wasn't a blade, it was a cup. A simple, sour, 2-ingredient drink that nobody wanted to drink, but everyone needed to survive. Posca didn't just hydrate an army, it hydrated an empire. It built roads, won wars, and saved lives in places where every other army would have crumbled. Vinegar and water, that's all it was. And yet, that's how Rome ruled the world for 500 years. If you enjoyed this forgotten piece of history, hit that subscribe button and join the Alternate Past family for more incredible stories like this. And tell me in the comments, would you have drunk posca every day for 25 years like a Roman soldier? Yes or no?